Hi, so today's video is going to be my Allstar Weekend and Action Item concert experience. And I know that Allstar Weekend and Action Item aren't really that famous. And I saw this is actually the concert that I went to 4 years ago. And yes, I know it's kind of late of doing an experience on that, but 4 years ago today is when I saw them in concert for the first time. So yeah, that's why I want to make this video today. So it was Tuesday, August 31st, and it was the day of my Allstar Weekend slash action item concert. It was my first time seeing both bands, and before that day I did not know who Action Item was. So yeah. Alright, so for the day of the concert, I just put on some makeup, and then I was wearing a black cheerleading shirt that said should I say Allstar? And I was wearing that because their Allstar Weekend band used to be called Allstar, but now it's called Allstar Weekend. Oh, then it was called Allstar Weekend, but now it's a completely different name, but it's both it has Zach, Cameron, and Michael in it. And if you were a Allstar Weekend fan, you knew that Nathan was in it, but he sadly left the band. So I was just wearing that, and then it was actually before me and my mom left for the not One Direction, Allstar Weekend concert, I was watching various YouTube videos of Allstar Weekend, and there was 4:30 ish, I think. No, I think it was either 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock when me and my mom left, and where the concert was, it was in Philly at the TLA, and the concert started at 7, I think, and then the doors opened at 6:30. I think that's what time they opened, if I remember correctly. And so when we got there, we went to Wawa, got a hoagie sandwich for dinner, but we didn't eat it right away. We brought it into the TLA so we can eat it there when the concert was going on. So after we went to Wawa to get our dinner, we parked somewhere close to the TLA. And then we had to wait in a line to outside the TLA to go inside. And then when we were waiting outside, Anthony from Action Item and Dylan, who's the pianist in Allstar Weekend, came out. I met both of them, and I would show you guys the pictures, but it's not on my iPod, it's on my camera, my digital camera, and that's upstairs, and I forgot to grab it. So in my next video or something else, the next time I do a video like this, about Allstar Weekend or Action Now, I'll show it to you. So when I met Anthony, it was he was the first person I met that was famous, and I was really scared. And when I met him, he at the time I was wearing those the silly bands as everyone used to wear, and since I was wearing so many, he saw them. He said, "Those are so cool." I was "Thanks," and he asked me if he could have one, and I gave him one, and I asked him what color he wanted, and he wanted a blue, so I gave him blue. blue one. And of course I also got a picture with him. And then maybe like 5-10 minutes later, Dylan came out and I got a picture with him. And then after that we were waiting more, like some more time to go in, and then I think at 6:30-ish we were finally able to go in. And then when we went in, there were, I think the first band that opened up for Allstar Weekend was Action Item. If not, it was like a different band. I don't remember what the other bands were, but yeah, after Action Item came on, Brian, who's from Action Item, came out. I met him as well, and of course I don't have it on my iPad. I did, but I don't have it on my iPad now because I had to get rid of a bunch of pictures from my One Direction concert a few weeks ago. So, yeah, and then another band went on. I forget what the band was called. And when they were done, they came out into the audience. I met, I think, 2 or 3 of them. I forget. And, yeah, and then another band went on. I forget what it, I don't even remember the other 2 bands' name was called that opened up for Allstar Weekend. And then, of course, there was like breaks in between each band. And finally, Allstar Weekend came on, and it was just like really fun. And I only knew one song from Allstar Weekend. I think it was, Come Down, no, I forget what the first song I learned off, like from their album, their first album. I forget what it was called, so yeah. And for Action Item, I only knew one song. I didn't know any other songs, but the first song I learned from Action Item was, When Everything Falls Back Down. And after the show, everyone that was there got to meet Allstar Weekend, but before meeting Allstar Weekend, I saw Anthony again, and I was talking to him, and apparently the Stilly band that I gave him, he was wearing that on stage, so I thought that was actually pretty cool, and I was just like really happy that he actually wore it on stage. So then after I was talking to him again, like for the second time I met him, everyone got in line to meet Allstar Weekend, and it was just like a really cool experience when I met them, because I was actually really excited, and I was also kind of scared. And when it was my turn to meet them, I was wearing my Allstar Weekend shirt, not this one, but one that I got when I saw them, and I was wearing that over top of my other shirt. And when I went up, Cameron said that I looked really good in that shirt, and I was actually kind of like so surprised that he said that I didn't say anything, and I just like smiled at him. And then I was like in the middle of Zach and Cameron. It was Nathan, Cameron, me, Zach, Michael. And when I got a picture with them, Michael did a really silly face. And then after that, I got a hug from all 4 of them, and it was just like pretty cool. And then after that, me and my mom left, and I was like, Mom, me and my mom were actually walking out the doors. I was like, Mom, I don't want to leave yet. And then, of course, we left anyways. So yeah, that was my Allstar Weekend slash Action Item concert experience. And I actually saw them 4 times, like 4 years in a row. I saw them 2010, 2011 when they opened up for Selena Gomez, 2013, no, 2012, and then 2014. And the time of the first time I saw them, it was in August. The second time I saw them, it was in August again. The third time I saw them, it was February. And then the fourth time I saw them was February. And the fourth time I saw them, Cameron was near where I was, and I did the heart, and he nodded his head. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. Alright, so I guess that's it for this video, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!